What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NY Prepper, and I wanted to just do a quick boot review of some boots that I recently purchased. And I did a video recently about overlooked preps, and I talked about how boots are an important prep that a lot of preppers overlook. You know, they focus on a lot of other things: food, water, ammo, firearms, AR-15s, but they miss one of the most critical preps, which is, your boots, your footwear. Okay, if you don't have good footwear, you're not going to be able to do anything after SHTF. Footwear is absolutely essential. You need to have good quality boots, and they have to fit you well, and you have to have the right boots for the right season. And since it's summertime, I wanted to do a little review of some summer boots that I think are really good for preppers, hunters, sportsmen, anybody that's involved in any kind of outdoor recreation, spending time in the wilderness, bushcrafters. This is a really good boot, and the price is actually really low on these right now. They dropped the price by probably 40% from what it used to be, or maybe 30%. So these are the Danner Tanikas, and these are the Danner Tanikas with the, these are the hot weather version. So they are not insulated. This is Danner Boot Company. Okay, if you guys are not familiar with Danner, they come out of Oregon. Okay, so there's the logo there, Danner. All right, their boots are made in the USA. All right, which is a good selling point. And that's the logo, another view of the logo there. Okay, and so these are the Danner Tanikas. All right, Danner Tanikas, that's what they're called. And these are the summer version. They also have, they do have an insulated version. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's like 400 grams of insulation in there. And then they also have just a Gore-Tex version, which I have here. And I've had the Gore-Tex versions for a few years now. These are the Gore-Tex version, which I've had for a while. So for summertime, I prefer the non-Gore-Tex, which is the summer version of these boots. These are the ones that I'm reviewing, all right? So I'm just going to set the Gore-Tex version aside. It's actually not Gore-Tex. They call it Danner Dry. So it's like a Danner version of Gore-Tex. All right, so these have no Gore-Tex, they have no waterproofing, they have no insulation. Okay, it's just leather, 1,000 denier nylon. All right, on the outside here for saving weight, because leather is heavy. So that saves weight by having the nylon. And the inside is just a mesh lining. All right, so let me show you the mesh lining here, and I have my computer, which I'll show you some stuff there. So this is the mesh lining, right, inside the boot. And that just goes all the way down into the boot there. All right, so that keeps your foot cool in the summer. It's a very lightweight boot. There's no, lining here. It's literally just the Cordura or whatever 1,000 denier nylon here, the leather, the suede leather, and then the mesh lining. And the mesh lining is just a little, it has like a little padding in it, obviously, so you don't, get friction spots. So it's very breathable. It's a very breathable boot, all right? So for the summertime, you want something that breathes well. And it also has this, these two vents here, okay, which allow for drainage. If you're crossing a wet area, let's say you have to go across a stream or a river or a deep, puddle or something, this will drain out the water. All right, so if you have something like these waterproof versions here, which has the waterproof lining inside, you see this black stuff, that's the waterproof lining. It's breathable. All right, it's a breathable lining. All right, but the problem is it's not breathable enough to where it's going to drain out water. The water's going to stay in there. You would have to take your boot off and shake the water out. And the water's not going to drain out. It's going to linger inside. And so that's kind of a negative with any kind of Gore-Tex boots, is that they're waterproof, so they're good for like snow and things like that. But if you step into a deep puddle, or you go into a lake or a stream, the water's going to go over the top of the boot, and it's going to infiltrate your boot, and it's going to fill up your feet with water. So that's where having the drain hole is important, the 2 drain holes. And it's also for air, ventilation, right? Because in the summertime, your feet get hot, and you need to have good ventilation to your feet, okay? So these ports, these little screen ports here, they have like a little metal screen. Let me see if I can zoom in a little on that, if I could show you guys what that looks like. All right. And that helps the airflow, all right? And it also has this little in the front here. It has a little, it has like a little, the tongue has this little pocket where you can put your laces in here. It's a lace garage, okay? They call it a lace garage. So after you tie your knot, you can tuck your knot in, so it's not loose. You can tuck your knot in under this this lace garage here, okay? And it's just like an elastic material. And this is all nylon. The tongue is 1000 D nylon, 1000 denier nylon, so it's very rugged. It's mostly nylon and just some leather on the bottom and around the laces. The laces are metal on the top, and on the bottom it's also metal, but they're eyelets on the bottom, just classic eyelets on the bottom. And then halfway up you have the speed laces here. Actually, no, I'm sorry, they're not speed laces. What am I saying? That's what they look like, and it's all metal, so it's high quality. Nothing plastic that's going to snap or anything. It's got this reinforced webbing here that makes it strong, so it doesn't come apart. And it's got extra stitching here, as you can see, extra stitching, reinforced stitching. It's got this nylon strap across the ankle area, across the calf area, so that keeps it strong, prevents it from falling apart. It reinforces the boot, basically. It holds everything together, this thick strap here. And then same thing, this diagonal one, so your ankle, you have one reinforcing strap under your ankle and one above it. All right, so that's where a lot of the pressure is going to be as you move around, and there's a lot of torque on this area, so they reinforced it with this webbing strap, so it's nice and solid. You can see they double stitched everything here. All the seams are double stitched. The leather is really clean, nice quality. And the tread is awesome. It's got this universal tread pattern. It has these these pentagon shaped treads, and I've used this. My other boots, my other Danner Tanikas, I've used them in different types of terrain, and I really love them, especially for summer and summer, fall, and spring. They're really, really good. They're very universal. This tread is just really good, and it holds up. It's very tough, and so I love this boot. It's very lightweight, so I'm just going to go over some of the specs here. I have my computer, and I'm just going to go over some of the specs. So this one is 39 ounces per pair. So that's going to be roughly, what is that? That's going to be about 2.5 pounds, okay, for both boots. So you're looking about just over a pound a boot. That's one of the lightest boots that you can get, so I really like light boots. I like to have light boots. I don't like heavy, clunky boots. Lightweight is always the best. It has an 8-inch height. So these are 8-inch boots, which give you the full ankle protection, which is what you need if you're going to be spending time in the wilderness, or if you plan to use these boots for SHTF, for tactical purposes. They're not insulated, and they have a really good toe box. The toe box is really wide, especially if you get the wide version. They have regular and wide, and I got the wide version. I have big feet, so I got a wide, a 14 wide is what I have, 14 wide. That's the size that I have, 14 14 wide, in case you guys want to see what it looks like there. 14 Danner Tanicus 8-inch Coyote. All right, leather fabric, made in Vietnam. All right, so at least it's not made in China. Well, I think they make some of them in the U.S. Obviously, they have berry compliant. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe these are actually not the berry compliant version. So these may be made in Vietnam. I'm sorry, but a lot of the Danner boots are made in the U.S. It's a U.S. company, obviously. So, you know, great boot. Only 39 ounces a pair, so it's not heavy. And again, and this is also a plain toe. This doesn't have a steel toe or composite toe, which I don't think you need for tactical purposes or outdoor wilderness, excursions. You don't need a steel toe or composite toe. It just adds extra weight, and also you can crush your toe if something heavy goes on it. It can actually amputate your feet because that steel will bend and it will crush your toes, So I'm not a big fan of steel toe. And even when I was selling firewood, I never wore steel toe. I was just very careful when I was moving around the logs. I was just very careful about my footing. That's pretty much it. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Very lightweight, 39 ounces, very comfortable. I've worn these, for many, many miles in hot weather, and they're very comfortable, very lightweight. They go for, right now, they're going for $112, which normally they're $150, so they're on sale. And when I actually bought my first pair of the Danner Tanicus, I bought these like a couple of years ago. They were like $170 or $180 actually. So the prices on these Tanicus boots have really come down. So you can see some changes with the older boots. The color is a little different on the tongue here. It's a little different coloration. The Coyote's a little bit different on the older ones. But one thing that I do on all my boots is I put these Kevlar shoelaces. These are made by a company called Pro Tough. And you can see how thick they are. These are extra heavy duty. Compare the two laces side by side. You can see the Kevlar is the black one, and this is the standard one that comes from Danner. I still didn't replace them yet, but I'm going to do that tonight. And I highly recommend you get Kevlar boot laces, just because Kevlar is much more resistant to cutting and tearing. And if you plan to use these boots in harsh conditions, if you're going to go through a lot of underbrush or thorn bushes, or if you're going to have these for tactical purposes, you may walk through some barbed wire, or you may run into thorns, and that can easily tear up, regular laces. So these Kevlar laces are a lot stronger, than regular, and they're only a few bucks, So I always do that on all my boots. When I get them, I put in the new Kevlar laces on them. So, that's pretty much it. I highly recommend you guys get the Danner Tanicus, and, you can go on to danner.com. And you can buy these boots for $112, guys. I'm telling you, they're very comfortable. They give you good support. And my advice to you is, if you're like a middle size, for some of the larger sizes, they don't have half sizes above. Let me see. Above size 12, there aren't any half sizes. So for me, I'm like a 13 and a half. So what I did is I ordered a size 14. So if you're above a size 12 and you're not like you're not a whole number, let's say you're a 12 and a half or a 13 and a half or a 14 and a half, make sure you order the next size up. All right. So if you're a 12 and a half, order a 13. If you're a 13 and a half, order a 14. Because I did order the size 13s. And like I said, I am a 13 and a half. And when I ordered the size 13s, they were very tight on the toes, So, don't do that, all right? Go up an extra half size to the next highest number, all right? So this way you don't have to return and do stuff. And of course, Danner, they have free shipping and free returns, okay? See, free shipping, free returns. So that makes it very easy if you order the wrong size or whatever. You can easily just return it, and I have returned my boots to them, and it's a very fast process. So that's pretty much it, guys, for this one. Stay tuned for more gear reviews. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button if you like the video, and you can also hit the bell notification if you want to get notified when I upload new videos. I do have a website, www.newyorkprepper.com, and the link is in the description box down below. If you want to visit my website, there's a discussion forum there. If you want to discuss things with other people, other preppers, rather than just talking in the comments section, you can go on my website and talk in the forum. You can link up with other people, exchange ideas, review gear, etc., etc. So check out my website. Link is in the description box. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.